Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Now today we are talking about Vegito Super Saiyan Blue in the Dragon Ball Super dub. Now you may be asking, okay, so the voice is, still performed by Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat. What are you going to discuss, Particle? Well, that is a good question. Basically, I want to sort of do a prediction on the lines spoken by Vegito in his brief appearance in Dragon Ball Super episode 66 of the Funimation English dub, airing on Toonami in a few weeks. The episode 66 penultimate episode of the Future Trunks arc, with episode 67 kind of serving as an epilogue, is now currently going to be on the horizon in a few weeks. So I thought it would be fun to talk about Vegito and basically do a video on him. So the first sort of key phrase that Vegito says is, "I'm the fusion of Vegeta and Kakaroto. Vegito." Now, I think the English version of that, now that was the Japanese, for context, that was the Japanese version of the line. Now, in the English dub, I think it'll be same as the Japanese, nothing really more to add there. That's just as basically his signature quote there, "I'm the fusion between Vegeta and Kakaroto, Vegito," but just remove the Kakaroto and make it Kakarot, because in the English dub, they don't have Kakaroto, they have Kakarot. But, Vegito's name is built off of Kakaroto and Vegeta, so it really doesn't make sense in the English dub to call him Vegito. I mean, the Viz manga, when Viz were translating the Dragon Ball Z manga, well, in Japan it's just one manga, but, in the West they split it up into Dragon Ball and the Dragon Ball Z manga. When they were doing the Majin Buu story arc, they had Vegirot instead of Vegito to try to make sense of the Kakarot and, Vegeta sort of fusion name debacle. So it's kind of confusing, but, they're just going to remove the Kakaroto and make it Kakarot because that's what the English dub does. Now, the Japanese then says, "And this is Vegito Blue!" Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Which is fine, but the reason why I think they'll change it is because it just doesn't really suit the English dub. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I guess, the lip flaps as well. I think the English line will be something, akin to, "With the full power of Super Saiyan Blue." So I'm the fusion of Vegeta and Kakarot, Vegito, with the full power of Super Saiyan Blue. I think that's going to be the line. And I don't think they'll use a, grander title like Vegito Blue. It just doesn't really make sense in the English dub. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys feel the same way. I'm not sure. Leave a comment down below if you feel that Vegito Blue, that just title doesn't fit real well with the English dub. It just doesn't sound right. It just definitely sounds like a Japanese sort of phrase, kind of like the Dragon Ball Z movies in Japan are, way different to the names in the US. I mean, the US names are kind of generic, snappy, they get straight to the point, but the Japanese, they use those, grandiose, over-the-top titles like Big Explosion Fight, etc, 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 very sort of grandiose, over-the-top names in the Japanese, while, the English dub, names get straight to the point. It's sort of a similar thing here. They don't need Vegito Blue like it's an over-the-top title. They just need to say, "With the full power of Super Saiyan Blue," and it also, as I said, works with the lip flaps. Now, the other line that is spoken by Vegito is, in the Japanese, it's "Now, let's finish this," and in the English, it's going to probably be, this is my prediction, this is all my prediction by the way, I've wrote these lines into English, matched it up with the lip flaps and everything. So I think that the English version of this line is, "Now, let's finish it off for real." Now, for obvious lip flap reasons, that's going to probably be the case. Like, there's going to be more words, spoken for this line, as the Japanese is just, "Now, let's finish this," with the, lip flaps, and they have to match. They obviously need to have a longer line. But I also think it sounds more punchy. And with the Dragon Ball Super Funimation dub, it's known for its punched up character sort of quotes, particularly with transformations, Also, Vegeta tends to say these type of extended phrases often. Vegeta sort of says, now let's finish you off for real, instead of now let's finish this. I don't know, he sort of just has that way of speaking. He just sort of extends out phrases. And since Vegeta is one half of the Vegito fusion, the way that he speaks should be transferred over too, in my opinion. So I think that's going to be the case. Now, in the Japanese, it goes on to say, sorry, you're way open there. I think it's just going to be the same in the English. Maybe a, extended phrase to cater to the lip flaps, but that's about it. The Japanese moves on to, Vegito. The Japanese line goes on to, come on, Mr. God, I'm through listening to your quibbling. Hurry up and try to squash me. So that's an interesting line, but I think the English dub is going to sort of change that to, you talk way too much, hurry up and try to land a blow, Mr. Divine Strength. I think that's going to be the line here for a couple of reasons. One aspect I actually like about the dub is the various names characters call each other. An example being in episode 16, Vegeta calls Bulma Mrs. Microwave Dinner as a way of insulting her cooking skills. He sort of just gives that title away, and it's just kind of a comedic thing. Also, when you extend the phrase out with, Mr. Divine Strength, it also suits the lip flaps, and the dub has, sort of not been using sort of God, and that phrase. I mean, they've used it before with Super Saiyan God and stuff, and Destroyer God, but they haven't really used it as much as, other words like deities or divine strength. And, with Zamasu, in Zamasu's case in this arc, they tend to use the divine strength or divine power phrase often, so I think that's going to be the English line. You talk way too much, hurry up and try to land a blow, Mr. Divine Strength. Although if we get rid of the I'm through listening to your quibbling, now listening sort of has that hick accent that Goku is known for in the Japanese, so the term listening, the word listening in the sentence, has the sort of G cut off, so it's spelled L-I-S-T-E-N-I-N apostrophe. So if you change the line in the English dub, we also lose Goku's hick dialect, but that doesn't really change much considering that the English dub doesn't really use his dialect either, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, that's one thing that has kind of been always missing throughout every dub of Dragon Ball, not just Dragon Ball Super, but throughout every Funimation dub, and even the Ocean dub, which is still Funimation since Funimation produced the Ocean dub. But anyway, they just used, Vancouver actors, and Barry Watson, the producer of Dragon Ball Z at the time, flew out and in of Canada. Sometimes, it was very infrequent. But anyway, throughout every dub of Dragon Ball, Z, Super, whatnot, they lose Goku's hick dialect that was so prominent in the Japanese. So it really doesn't matter at the end of the day if they lose the accent on the word listening, or just get rid of the word entirely. So yeah, that's basically it. There's a few more lines of Vegito, but nothing too noteworthy. Those are sort of the first few that I wanted to cover, really, because those are the most interesting in my opinion. Specifically, the Japanese line, and this is Vegito Blue. And my prediction with the English dub is that they're going to use with the full power of Super Saiyan Blue. It just sounds, better suited for English audiences, while the Japanese sort of have that sort of title to it. And this is Vegito Blue. It almost sounds like you're trying to sell merchandise there, by titling the, Vegito Super Saiyan Blue form like that. But anyway, what do you guys think about these lines here? Do you think I'm on the money in terms of like how they're going to dub this? Or not really dub it necessarily, but more so script the lines for Vegito. What do you guys think? I'm curious, what you guys think in the comment section down below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Also, are you excited for Vegito in the dub? I'm particularly excited for the final Kamehameha that Vegeta was going to perform against Zamasu. I think that's going to be very fun. And, even though Goku and Vegeta, fused as Vegito is quite rare to see, it's always very fun. In the Buu arc, even though I'm not a huge fan of the Buu arc, I still enjoy the Vegito stuff. I think, while it's a little redundant to have like two fusions in one arc, it's fun. Vegito is just a fun character, and seeing him in Dragon Ball Super for the first time, while it was very short-lived, it was only literally like 6 minutes, of screen time. It was very fun, and I cannot wait for the dub to sort of relive those moments through a different lens. You know, the dub has always been a solid adaptation, you know, in the Dragon Ball Super, you know, realm, Funimation, not Bang Zoom, but in the Dragon Ball Super realm, you know, of dubbing, well, Dragon Ball Super, the anime, with Funimation, it's always been quality, it's always been good, but just a few nitpicks here and there, just a few liberal changes. And yeah, that's basically it. What do you guys think of Vegito? Is he your favorite character? He's one half of my favorite character because Vegeta is my favorite character. And yeah, Vegito Blue, I cannot wait. So that's gonna do it for me. Dragon Ball Super episode 66 will be airing in a few weeks, and then after that, next week, you know, the week after that, Dragon Ball Super episode 67 will air, and that will cap off the Future Trunks arc. And honestly, it's only felt like, you know, a few weeks since the arc, you know, started, but now we're, you know, reaching the climax of the Future Trunks arc. It's almost crazy how time flies like that. But that's gonna do it for me. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Please go check out the Dragon Ball Super English Dub playlist where you could sort of see other videos like this. And yeah, see you guys next time.